So this is kind of what I was trying to describe. Hopefully you got a good idea of it. So this is what we call like our muscle balloon. So it's just a material that's supposed to mimic our biological tissue, but it has multiple layers for our muscle, our fat, and our skin. It is a tissue mimicking phantom for ultrasound. And the novelty of it is that it's dynamic, so it's going to move. And so ultrasound plays off of sound waves, and so you had to match the acoustic properties of biological tissue to some other medium. So we'll have water pumping into and out of what I call a muscle balloon. So it's just a tissue mimicking material with an empty cavity in the middle. And so what it does is it pumps water in to kind of emulate when you're contracting your muscle, so it'll bulge and enlarge, and then we'll pump water out and it'll kind of contract in a way. I got into it with my thesis advisor. His name is Umut Savisi. He is a PhD student here at the college, or at the university, I suppose, where he actually makes his single element ultrasounds. But with single element, you kind of get one-dimensional data, but it's more wearable. And so he wanted something like my Phantom to be able to validate his technology, because you know exactly, it's in a Phantom, you know how it should move, whereas biological tissue is a little bit less precise. And so a big aspect of that with being an athlete is the wearable ultrasound and how that works is really great for learning more just kind of like about biomechanics and how we move and why we move in that way. And so building off of Umut's design, what he's doing in his PhD allows us to know more about how we move as athletes. I think that's what interested me most and why I chose it was being able to link it to something I do in real life and real world. But athletics, I think, a big part of just kind of that frustration maybe of having a problem that you don't quite know how to tackle. Sometimes like team cohesion, team culture, things of that nature, where there's a lot of moving parts. We're a 30-girl team, there's a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities, which is one of our strengths. But aligning people to a similar goal is something that me as a captain I did last year. And so very similar to the engineering design, where you're really like ideating and thinking about the best solution to problems before you try them. It's very similar to how you might approach sports culture and how you might want to rally people together to a common goal. Academics was something that was instilled in me as a kid, and always with the best intentions of, if you can't play your sport for whatever reason, that you always have a bag full of your degree in your mind and your brain. One major thing that I learned was like my ability to do things that aren't as tangible, that you wouldn't see in a student, like things like time management, stress management, how I'm getting from place to place, and scheduling myself in a way to be so high performing in both aspects. The idea of being present where you are, and the understanding that you're not really going to get the most out of places if you're thinking about the next. Those relationships and have those experiences both on the pitch with my teammates and in the locker room, but also with my classmates here and in the lab. And so really taking the time to make those connections and not thinking about the next place I need to be.